Back at Fanatics Fest, Shaun, Morash, Tommy Lugauer here with you. If you're coming by Fanatics Fest at the Javits Center, come down ground floor. Very special guest with us here. Two-time NBA champion, former New York Knick J.R. Smith is in the house with Shaun and Tommy. J.R., thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate
it. Thank you.
So, J.R., one of my favorite parts of the entire playoff run we just experienced with the New York Knicks was a lot of the former Knicks coming back, and I remember the specific video of you kind of walking up to the Garden, selfie video, and you feeling the excitement. What was it like for you as a former Knick, seeing the Knicks have another deep playoff run here and bringing basketball back to life here in New York?
It's kind of weird, I'm still haven't wrapped my head around it. I'm not playing anymore, so it's kind of like walking into the arena and the different entrance is still kind of weird, but it was a hell of an experience. They do an amazing job with the Knicks alumni and bringing guys back and continuously, bringing that energy around the Garden. And I was really excited for the run. It just ended abruptly. I didn't like it.
J.R., let me bring up something to you that one of our hosts on this station, Greg Giannis, sort of threw out there on his show a couple weeks ago. Let's say James Dolan and or Leon Rose called Thibs up and was like, psych, we're just kidding. We were just kidding. We just wanted to see how you'd react. Can you come back and coach the Knicks? Do you think that's something that they should at least consider? And I know they've reached out to teams, and a lot of people think that the Knicks don't have a plan. I think they do. I think they're doing their due diligence. But do you think it's that crazy? Like, I know I'm a huge Knick fan, and I've talked to a lot of Knick fans this weekend. They're getting antsy. They want a head coach. Do you think that it's out of the box to just, call up Thibs and be like, hey, you want to come back?
That would be wishful thinking. It's too hard. Once you give the can to guy, it's so hard to come back. I've seen, I think, two coaches do it in my career who literally got fired and went back to the same organization. So I think it will be a great move for the Knicks because, Thibs is an unbelievable coach. The way he did a really good job with what he had, and now, obviously the Knicks and the Knicks fans, we always expect to win. We always expect that this is going to be our year, one of those type of things. And this was the most exciting it's been since 2013, I guess.
Let me ask you this, JR, because you've played on teams, obviously championship teams with star players, and this is a championship team. I think they should just make little moves. We can get to that in a second. There have been names thrown out there like a Johnny Bryant or guys that don't have a lot of experience. In your experience in the NBA, can a guy that doesn't have – Rajon Rondo has been thrown out there. He hasn't coached at all. Do you think the Knicks have to hire a guy that has playoff experience, maybe even a championship, or could they go the route of a coach that has little to no experience as a head coach, in your opinion?
To me, I think they can go a route with a guy who has little to no experience. Especially guys who've played the game, like a Rondo, who understands dynamic and understands getting guys together and camaraderie and stuff like that. So if you got a guy like that, I can see it happening, but no disrespect to nobody else in whatever field, but you can't pull up a video coordinator and he'll be the head coach of the Knicks. It's I don't think it works like that. If you have a player coach and a guy who's, again, a Rondo, quote unquote, Hall of Fame career, who understands dynamic of being a point guard and being a defensive vocal person on the court, I think something like that can work. I just don't know if that's the direction we're going to go in. It doesn't seem like it. We seem like we really want a veteran guy or a coach who's been established in the league as a good coach. And I think that's when you have to live up to expectations like that, it's going to be really, really hard for us.
You are somebody that's won a couple NBA titles, so you know what that takes. And now we see, obviously, what the Indiana Pacers have done since pushing Oklahoma City here tonight to a Game 7. More on that in a second. But when you look at the New York Knicks and firing, obviously, Thibs, what does the next coach need to accomplish to kind of take them over that next level at this point? Is it, playing less minutes during the regular season with Thibs playing all those minutes? What is the missing ingredient that the Knicks can't solve this Pacer problem, knowing the Pacers are right here in a Game 7 with the Thunder? The Knicks can't be that far away.
No, I don't think they're that far away. I think depth definitely has a lot to do with it. Both teams can at least go 10 guys deep on the bench. And I think, in the Knicks, you playing guys 7, 8 guys, 40-some plus minutes a night for 82 games and stretches, and then get to the playoffs. Guys do get gassed. Don't get me wrong. You want to be in the playoffs, and you want to be able to, have the energy to continuously compete at the highest level. But at the same time, if you playing that many minutes, it's extremely hard.
So there's been a lot of rumor. I feel like we're back to a part of me likes it, but a part of me hates it, where we're in an era of Knick basketball where we're trying to get the stars back. All right, let's get Giannis. Let's get Kevin Durant. For me personally, as a Knick fan, and you alluded to it there, they need depth. You've won championships. You know how important that 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th guy is. As great as Giannis is, as great, and I know Katie's here, as great as Kevin Durant is, that to me would be going backwards. I don't want a super team. I don't want to trade Cat. I don't want to trade Anunoby. I don't want to trade Bridges. I don't want to trade my depth. I want to add guys to the bench because I look at the Pacers, I look at Oklahoma City, those Cavs teams that you were on. You need depth. You need the others, like Shaq calls them. So I just want to get your opinion on the Knicks, whether you would want to go for a Giannis or a KD, or if they should just go grab a lunch pail guy that's going to get you 10 points and play great defense off the bench.
I mean, for me, I've been a bench guy.
Yeah.
I've been a six-man. So for me, I think you definitely need depth. No knock to KD or Giannis. Obviously, they're amazing talents and amazing players. But you also need the right ingredients to go. You can't just throw chicken in a pot with a bunch of other stuff and just like, oh, this is going to taste good. It doesn't work like that. So for me, I think the depth is where we definitely should get as a team with the Knicks. They got a great core of guys. Those guys can get better in certain areas. But other than that, I mean, just add 2 or 3 major pieces where you can get an extra big when you get in foul trouble. You can get an extra guy who can guard the perimeter and who's a 3-and-D guy. And you can get a guy who's really like a spark. We have Cameron Payne, which I think is a good off-the-bench point guard who can orchestrate as well as score. So, I mean, if you get another 2 to 3 pieces like that, I mean, I think we're fine.
And they also have young guys they could develop, like a Tyler Kolek, a Huck Porty, a Dottier. There are guys that are on this roster because a lot of people said they didn't have depth. And I like Thibs, and I think that when you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you probably shouldn't fire your coach. But one of the knocks on him was, we didn't utilize the bench. And people thought the Knicks didn't have a bench. I thought they had a bench. They just didn't want to utilize them as much. One other thing I wanted to get to you, it's been a big national story. And I'm curious if you've heard. Did you hear the LeBron thing with the ring culture? Have you heard this story?
Yeah, I heard it.
About how the NBA, it's all about winning rings. Did you feel like your career changed? Because obviously you had what you were here with the Knicks. You got traded. I know you were on Melo's podcast, and it was emotional for you to get traded from the Knicks. Can you just speak to winning that championship? Because I think when I hear that, and I hear LeBron saying, well, why do we care about rings? Here in New York, Sports Talk Radio, like, we care about championships. We care about winning. We want the Knicks to win a title. Like, it matters. So, like, what did it mean to you to win those rings and how it set your career apart?
I mean, I kind of fell into the Mickey Mouse ring, if you want to call it that. I kind of fell into that one. But the Cleveland ring, man, it meant everything. I mean, it's part of, I've been playing this game since I was 3 years old. And by the time I was 5, I was watching Michael Jordan, watching Scottie and all those guys. And, like, that was the goal. That was always the goal, to win a championship. And for me, it literally sets you apart from everybody else. So for me, I would say it matters. It definitely matters. Obviously, when you get to a LeBron, you get a 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever rings. I mean, you can go in different rooms at different doors, but it definitely matters.
Now, tonight, a very special night in the NBA. Speaking of that, Game 7, only the 20th Game 7 in NBA Finals history. The last one you were a part of, like you just mentioned, in 2016. So as many of us here hang out at Fanatics Fest, what are all these sports fans going to do tonight? They're pumped up, can't wait. A freaking Game 7 to settle the NBA season. Take us back to that day leading up, Game 7. What is a player going through in Oklahoma City and Indiana's minds tonight, and what is going to be the difference in a game like this tonight in a Game 7?
I think right now they're just going back through all those memories they had when they were kids. You wish you played in the Game 7. You wish you were playing in the NBA Finals. You literally sit there and think about it. For me, I've had my 2 brothers with me the whole time. We were in every finals I went to, and we took it back old school. We were sitting there playing 2K, talking about the old days and what you thought about and what the anticipation was. And by the time you get to the game, it's like we watched so much film, we did so much walkthrough. It's just the game is just going to happen. There's only but so much you can really impose on the game unless you're like a LeBron, Kyrie,
right.
K-Love. For me, it was very simple. Guard him, and when you're open, shoot it. So I didn't really have to think too much.
Who do you think wins tonight?
Honestly, I think OKC wins. I think they play extremely well at home. I think both teams are really tough to beat back-to-back games.
Right.
It's really it really depends on, to me, depends on Chet and I think his name Marcus Williams.
Yeah, Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams. I think it really depends on them too. I mean, Chet is incredible. I think he's going to be a KD-esque in a couple years when he really settles into his game, and I think they're going to be scary. Pascal though is going to, if Pascal pushes the envelope today, I mean, it could get ugly.
He's got the experience.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Karl-Anthony Towns, Jersey guy like you. I'm a big Karl-Anthony Towns supporter, but he has his detractors. The people complain about maybe the body language or the low basketball IQ, gets into foul trouble. Maybe you don't always see the aggressive side of him, maybe even on defense. They brought it up during the broadcast. I think it was Stan Van Gundy. Have you talked to Cat? Have you reached out to him at all? Because I know even like when you were here, JR, there were times where we love J.R. Smith. Maybe we were down on J.R. Smith, and that's just how we are as fans. Have you talked to Cat? Is there any advice you would have for Karl-Anthony Towns? Because I don't think we should give up on this guy. He's 29 years old. He has a ton of talent, and I don't think that talent has been maximized. Now, some of it's on him. Some of it's on the coaching, the new coach. But what would your advice be for Karl-Anthony Towns navigating the waters of this market, this fan base?
It's part of it, man. It's part of it. You're going to play well, and they're going to love you. You're going to play bad, and people are going to let you know about it. But for me, it's like I would rather it that way. I wouldn't want it any other way, because I've been to other places when you're playing terrible, and everybody's like, yeah, but they're really kicking you in the back.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro. If I'm playing bad, let me know about it, and I can do something about it and change it. I think he's in a position to where he can really help this team and this franchise, as well as the city being home. I think more than anything is literally got to come from upstairs, from his head. You got to let certain things go, change your attitude on certain parts of the game, the way you can react, because body language is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had to learn that the hard way, and I mean, he's got talent. Again, sometimes you got to get out your own way.
The great J.R. Smith, two-time NBA champion. Before we let you go, J.R., the co-host of the PAR3 Podcast. For those who don't know, you can find it everywhere. You're a golf enthusiast. What can new listeners to the PAR3 Podcast expect? What will we get there?
I mean, it's a little crazy out there. You know, if I'm a part of it, it's a little spicy, a little edgy.
Of course.
You know? But I got a great co-host with Stephen Malbin. He does a great job. He has his Mr. Rogers voice. I always tell him that he settles everybody in, and then I come in and just mess it up. So it's fun. It's a good thing we got going on, and just trying to grind at the game. Everybody knows how hard the game of golf is, and I think it's just so relatable to so many different people.
Yeah, I'm only hitting hybrid well right now. Well, thank you, JR, for a couple minutes. Download, subscribe to the PAR3 Podcast everywhere you get podcasts. Two-time NBA champion, former New York Knick, here at Fanatics Fest, J.R. Smith. Thanks for stopping by. More from Shaun and Tommy when we come back next.